everyone, and welcome to KYETalks. I am Sonal Ambekar, your host for this interview. Know Your Entrepreneur is a digital platform where we talk to several entrepreneurs who tell us why they chose not to be stuck with the regular 9 to 5 and went on to do something different. They wanted to chase their passion. Momtastic Mondays is a special segment where we interview mompreneurs, that is, moms who are also entrepreneurs. One such mompreneur we will be talking to today is Nithia Chacko Eric. She is the founder of Nithrik. It is an exquisite online fashion boutique inspired by tradition with a touch of modernity and creativity that goes beyond ordinary. This venture is a dream come true for Nithya, curated with love and undying passion. They have clients across the globe. Let's ask Nithya more about Nithrik. Hi Nithya, how are you?
Hi, Sonal. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
I'm also nervous.
It's okay. Don't be nervous. This is just you and me having a candid conversation about Nithrik, your baby, along with your other babies.
Right.
Yeah, so tell us, Nithya, tell us about Nithrik. How did you come up with this idea and how did you go ahead? Tell us about your journey.
Yes, so Nithrik is 5 years old. This month it actually turned 5 years old. So we're actually celebrating our anniversary this month. And so Nithrik is, it was a little risk that we took 5 years back. So I'm actually from from Saudi. I was born and brought up in Saudi Arabia and I got married in Bombay. Oh. So I always knew I wanted to be a fashion designer, though by qualification I'm a software engineer. I felt fashion was my calling. And
wow.
So when I reached Bombay, I saw, I felt there was an opportunity. I was going across the markets and, felt, okay, why not start something that I love? And I think I just took a risk and it just worked out for us. Yeah.
Amazing.
And, luckily I had a great support system. So it did. So that's the story of Nithrik. It just happened in the market and I was, I'm glad it just happened in a very small scale and then took it forward while I was pregnant with my first elder son. That's how it started off, yeah.
So 2 babies together you had.
Yes, I have 2 children. One is 5 and one is 3. So, but it happened after I became a mom. Nithrik started that, started 5 years back after I became a mom. So it was a huge decision that I did for myself to be an entrepreneur.
Nice. Yeah. So that brings me to my first question. How do you manage both the fronts, like being a mom, the home front, and then being an entrepreneur, the work front?
Right. So I think that's a brilliant question because you're actually saying even a mom is an entrepreneur. I honestly think being an entrepreneur is much easier than being a mother because being a mother is more challenging. So I feel being an entrepreneur is much more easier because you exactly know what your client needs. But as a mom, especially of 2 young children, it's so difficult to adapt and to learn. Every day is learning with them. But for a client, when we have an entrepreneur, you know exactly what the client needs and what they have in mind and what they've done. They tell me. So I think it was quite difficult initially, but now as they're growing up, it's getting easier for me to handle. So it's okay. It's fine. But I've learned to balance both my work life and family life. And one good thing being an entrepreneur is that you're your own boss. So you can choose your timings. You know exactly when to go for your work and when not to go for your work. We also choose our clients and our designs and everything accordingly. So it's pretty much, that's one of the good things being an entrepreneur. You can decide what to do and how you want to go about it. Right.
That's what Eric also told us. So guys, let me tell you, Eric Umman, who we had introduced in our previous interview, is the co-founder in Nithrik.
Yes. Right? He was correct. He's like our co-founder.
He's also Nithya's support system, which she talked about, I guess.
Major support system.
Right. It's all about the support that you get from your family, isn't it?
Yeah, it was actually started initially that because I was not sure if, it's so important. I mean, I think I'm very privileged to have that opportunity. When I've been married to a business family and when I told them and the thought came because I want to do something regarding fashion and it was like, okay, why don't you go ahead and, when your family and friends are supporting you, then it took off. Obviously, it was scary in beginning, but yeah.
Of course, the nervousness is there, but like once it takes flight, it takes flight.
Yes, very much.
So Nithya, you told us like what inspired you to get into to start your own boutique. But what was your motivation, to be an entrepreneur? Why did you want to be the entrepreneur? Start your own venture. The motivation.
Like I said, it just like I said, it was a thing from childhood that I wanted to be into fashion, but it did not work out, because of the whole norm of being the South Indian, the Indian family where you're like, I don't think that's a good opportunity. I think you should go for, it was quite, right. I was brought up like that.
Right.
So when I always wanted to be, I knew I could do it. I knew I felt I could start up something on my own. So I took a jump and I just thought I'll give it a shot, and try doing something I love. Because it's very important when you're an entrepreneur, you need to do something that you love. If you can't do something you love, it's not going to work. And I didn't want to be in a field where I don't love what I do. It's very important to love your work.
Right.
So that's how, I thought, okay, why not? That kind of brought me here to be an entrepreneur. So yeah, and I actually had a lot of people, I had a lot of examples as well, entrepreneurs and everything. So it was actually easy for me to understand, okay, it's quite difficult, but that's how it started. The whole motivation was there, yeah.
Right. And that was a massive leap you took, like from being a software engineer to entering the fashion industry.
Yes,
like
very much it was, yeah. Yeah, it was very much difficult, I mean, I didn't know if I could do it initially. But like I said, if you have a passion and that you feel you love what you're going to do, then it somehow falls in place if you know exactly what you have in mind. So right. I had my vision, I had a target to achieve, and it did work out somewhere.
Yeah. Spoken like a true entrepreneur, Nithya.
Yeah.
You had your target, you had your focus, you knew what you wanted to achieve, and then you went on and did it.
Yeah. Yes.
So
yes.
That brings me to the second question. What in this venture gives you a sense of accomplishment? What gives you that kick that makes you want to go on creating something new, bringing some new designs to your, clients? What is that?
Right. So obviously being a designer, our major accomplishment is when you see your clients wearing your design. From the time you have that step where in a minute a client approaches us, we know they tell us what their vision, what their dream is, and we put our heart and soul into creating every single design. And once a design is done, when we see our client wearing them and then hearing great reviews from them or from other people who tell us, oh, we saw your design and we saw her wearing your design, and that gives us a sense of pride and accomplishment. It's amazing to know that. And I think Nithrik, we also do, me being a South Indian, we have a lot of connections South Indian in all these other boutiques. So we send a lot of designs to our South Indian boutique, patchwork design, embroidery designs. And so when they give us reviews from there, so every month we get to hear reviews from there, like, okay, this is really nice, you've done a good job. So these are a few factors that give us kind of happiness and pride, and we have done something so far. We've done something right. That's very important as a designer, getting your things done right.
Yeah.
So yes, that.
And I have to mention that, like I said, you spoke like a true entrepreneur when you said you had your focus and your aims. I have to mention that you also spoke like a true artist, that you put your heart and soul in your work when you create.
Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's very important, because when you are designing something, it's very nerve-wracking when you immediately, every design, even if it's a simple one or even if it's a difficult one or a challenging one, I meant, it's important we approach it as a first, like we approach it as a new design, we approach it as a very special design for us, so from the end process, every design is like a baby, like how a baby comes. So every design very special, that's what I meant, So minute we start working on a design till the end, we take in a lot of effort, making sure that it goes perfectly.
And you do the detailing like very precisely. You feel good because it's like taking care of a baby. You have to be very precise. Right. That is like starting for like a mom who's also an entrepreneur, because you're connecting the mom and baby to like entrepreneur and your venture. Also, that brings me to my third question, Nithya. Like every venture that starts and up till like for a very long time, they face certain barriers, challenges, obstacles that they have to face. Each venture has some barriers that they face. Right. So what were the barriers you faced and how did you overcome them?
So like I said before, I came from Saudi Arabia. So when I came in, one of the biggest challenges I faced before starting up this business was the language. I wasn't sure if I could actually speak Hindi. So, I mean, I did know Hindi by watching movies, but I was not sure if I could actually work it out.
Right.
And the second thing that I understood was that I have no idea about Bombay. Mumbai was very new to me. I didn't know it was a very new city. To understand where the markets were and how do people work this out, I was not sure about it. So these are one of the two major challenges that I had, and being from the Gulf, I never entered the local, the Bombay local trains and the buses and all. It was very difficult initially, and I got to overcome all these challenges, and I realized that I can do it. Like, once I figured, it was very scary, and luckily the tailors that I met those days, or the workers who I met those days, were very sweet, and they actually helped me out the first 3 months. So I think these were the challenges that I faced on those days, the initial days of my my startup.
Right.
So then it went forward after that. It was fine after that. Now it's great. Now it's okay. Now you can actually talk in Hindi, so it's great.
You can. So in Bombay, it's like once you get a hang of thing, you can go and do it. There's nothing impossible in Bombay.
Right.
That's what the Bombay people believe.
Exactly.
So that is what a lot of people. Now you love Bombay. Bombay makes everyone their own.
Right, and so it's amazing, and I'm actually glad. Like, I got to learn because of Nithrik. I got to learn Bombay. I discovered so many new places, and also I think it was also a good platform for me to learn a lot of things.
Right.
Yes,
and now you're completely in love with Bombay.
Yes, definitely, very much in love. I can't imagine any other place now.
Wonderful. So, Nithya, I'd like to ask you that at this point, what do you think are the factors that are required for you to, accomplish like your business aspirations, achieve your business aspirations?
So right now, because it's become, everything is digital now. Everyone is doing the digital marketing, and it's all this online shopping. It's in a way, I think 2017 onwards, this has been the market.
Right.
It has been online.
And fashion has gone online.
It has gone online. Everything happens online now. And we have from day one decided that we will be only an online portal. We will not have a retail store. Okay. Now, keeping that in mind, because we've decided it's an online store, it's quite difficult. We have to make sure that we work harder to be stronger in social media, and to make sure that our business, the target that we want to have, or the vision that we have, has to work through social media or digital marketing.
Right.
So that is one of the main factors that I feel is important for focusing on our business right now. And I think not being a retail store, we have bigger reach. I mean, that's one thing I've realized. I mean, initially we had a thought, like, should we have a retail store? But the idea was that we will do online because we saw a market of the next, it's going to be an online venture, an online thing. So we started with that. So this is how one of the factors were, yes. So I think one of the most important factors is right now digital media, digital marketing, yes.
True. I have to say this, that you and Eric have the similar answers to like what are the to this particular question, that you also mentioned that this is the time when you go ahead and do brand recognition. You have to make sure your brand is known out.
So important, especially now with the lockdown, when we thought maybe things would be on a halt, luckily it did not. We still have customers. So we realized that even if the bad situation, online works. I mean, online shopping or digital marketing, it works. So everyone is actually now focusing on the digital media and how to grow in social media. So that is one of the factors.
We are exactly doing the same thing.
Exactly the same thing. Exactly. Right.
So, Nithya, this is like a very interesting question. How has this venture changed you as a person? How has being a mom, while also being an entrepreneur, brought about changes in you as a person?
Being an entrepreneur has made me realize that I've become more confident compared to 5 years back, and I've also, my self-esteem also has been boosted, so it's great. I think one of the most like I said before, and on again, that being an entrepreneur is challenging. And when you face all these challenges that you come across, it's very rewarding. You feel happy that you achieved it, and you might think you can't, but then you achieved it, it's just fantastic.
Right.
And also being a mother, I realized that, with this whole idea of no, moms can't do it, and, you cannot start up something on your own. So that's where also, like, when you can do something on your own and start up, and it could be a success. So I think that's another thing that I've learned. So the challenges I was talking about was the fact that the first challenge that you face is convincing yourself and believing in your brand. That is the first challenge. The second challenge is when you have to convince your family and friends to believe in your brand and to asking them for their support, hoping that they support your brand. And the third challenge is convincing your clients that your brand is good and they can achieve what they dream, or what the designs that they dream of. So once you face all these three challenges, you kind of become more confident in what you're doing, and you believe in your brand more. So
yeah, that's amazing. That's a beautiful answer, I must say. That brings me to the last question of this interview. What are some words of wisdom that you, or your message to, that you would like to give to the budding entrepreneurs out there? Like you said, like in the beginning, you were a little scared to like take this leap. But when you took it, that is when you know that this was worth it. So how would you encourage these budding entrepreneurs to, take that leap of faith, go ahead and create the entrepreneurship?
Yes. I think I think I'm a very good example of how did I turn out to be an entrepreneur, because from being a girl who just had a dream, who just had a small little dream, hoping to make it happen. Even now, today also, Nithrik is a dream for us. We hope to grow more. And from there I came to Bombay, a place where it was completely new to me. I took a risk and I thought, why not, and not knowing if this would actually work out. And especially me being a software engineer, I was not sure. And I took a little risk because I just wanted to follow my passion and love my work. Right. So I think being, one of the most important things is that take a risk. Maybe it might not work in the first go, but maybe try again. And once you decide, if you believe in your idea, you should work hard for it to make sure it being a success. Otherwise, it's no point. So I think that's the only thing I could tell the new entrepreneurs who are trying to come up with an idea. Have an idea, believe in yourself, and work hard.
Be persistent with the hard work. Right.
Yes, be persistent, to achieve your goals.
Right. Beautiful interview, Nithya. It was a pleasure for us to have you here, talk about your venture, your journey, and give those words of wisdom. I'm sure a lot of the entrepreneurs out there, our viewers, will be inspired to, take that leap of faith and maybe start something new. And then we'll make Atmanirbhar Bharat a reality.
Right. Yes. Hopefully. We also had a lot of fun talking to this one. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Yes.
Thank you for joining us on KYETalks, Nithya. It was amazing having you. Have a great day.